Okay, Father.
Namaste, my dear.
Um, I'm sorry, I have to ask you such a basic, gross question here, but I don't know what to do. So I don't know whether to lay it at your feet or to. I've inquired into this, but I've taken everything that you've said about thoughts and and all is good, but I have this one so sticky thought that I've had it for like about 20 years,
Ah,
and and it, for and it's habitual. It's I mean, basically, um, I suppose. I mean, basically, I've had like, if you like, it's keeping me in the body. So in the body. So I know I'm not my thoughts. I know I'm not my feelings. But uh, but basically, I've had like, I suppose this eating disorder, if you like,
yes.
for many years, and it's been a bit all-consuming. Every minute of the day, nearly. You're thinking of your body. How can I eat without eating calories? How can I avoid eating this? What am I weighing? What am I? It's just, and everything's been around that, and I just can't. It's just so deep. It's so habitual. My life is run around it, going to the gym and being a personal trainer, and it's just so stupid. I just had enough, and I just don't know how to get out of this. It just comes, and it's there without me realizing I picked it up, and I don't know what to do. I've inquired. I even had my head shaved as part of the renunciation of, I am not, but I don't know what to do, Father. I'm in a loop and I don't have any space to maneuver on this one.
So you say that for a long time you had this disorder which is related to eating, isn't it? And there are sticky thoughts around it. It seems compulsive. And if you give me the permission, I'll tell you something strong. It is not your disorder. You are witnessing the disorder, you are aware of it, but it is part of the movement of this consciousness. As long as you pick it up and say, this is me, I am doing this, I must do it like this, or I must not do it like this, then it will cause you a lot of suffering. We don't need to create it. We don't even need to get into the reasons why it started, what were the triggers. It's all okay. Just that consciousness got together and said, let us play in this way. Let us play through this expression of consciousness in this way. You are aware of the disorder, but the disorder cannot touch you as awareness, isn't it?
I don't even feel that space to, you know,
It's not space.
like,
It's very simple actually. It's not space. It's not a state. It's just that you would not be able to report that I have a disorder unless you were able to, unless you were aware of it, isn't it? You see, you are aware that there is disorder. You are aware when the body moves in certain ways towards food or away from food. You can have some have habits, some will keep pulling their hair, some will keep doing something else. As long as we identify as the one who is the doer of all of this, then it will seem like it's a heavy, heavy burden to carry. But as long as we see that I'm just witnessing this adventure of Nirmai, and Nirmai seems to play out like this without trying to change this appearance, without trying to change the movie. Then you might find that it completely changes or it doesn't change, but you are unconcerned. See, a lot of guilt can come up otherwise. You say, I decided, or I decided even to shave my hair, to renounce the world, so that I could be free from this. So we took on more the concept of doing something so that we could stop doing something else. And as long as we are in this trap of doing, not doing, doing, not doing, this trouble can continue like this. Can you identify, if I were to ask you, can you identify who decides to eat or not eat? Cannot find. Then why do you say, I do like this, I have the disorder? Cannot say like that. Unless you identify this I, don't refer to it as yourself. So you'll find that there are times where strong thoughts will come, and maybe even images. You see, it might be attractive about food or repulsive about food, I'm not sure. But either way, it's the same thing. Who are you in all of this? And as long as you keep believing that I am the person who has this disorder or doesn't have this disorder, then more and more trouble will come. Then the ego has its way with you, you see. How does food touch you? Food cannot touch you. In fact, we can go as far as to say, even this body cannot touch you. Your own body cannot touch you. You are just the awareness of it. So, how can we call something which cannot even touch you I? But we are strongly conditioned to believe this. Ever since we were children, since we've been maybe 2.5 years old, we've been told that this is my hand, this is my leg, this is my nose. See, all parents teach like this, isn't it? Where's your nose? Where's your hair? Where's your head? And we start believing that this is me, this body is me. But even with all of this conditioning, we still feel actually that I am a person who is the owner of this body. Most of us behave like that, that we are a person who owns this body. And this person is completely non existent. So the body is just in this realm of appearances. The person idea doesn't even belong in this realm, it's only imagination. The question is, what are you in all of this? And not what does it seem like you are. You can check now and confirm really what you are. And use everything that is coming, trying to be an obstacle, as momentum for this inquiry itself. So if strong thoughts are coming, you ask, who are these thoughts coming to? Who is aware of these thoughts?
So it's like, yes, I'm aware that there's a response to these, so I'm responding to
Yes, but
these.
is the awareness responding? Can the awareness respond? The awareness is completely unmoved, isn't it? Then how is the response happening? We can watch this together. It's very nice. We say that a trigger is there or a thought is there, and I'm just responding. How are you responding?
I'm plotting and planning what I can and shall I eat this or shall I have that? So that's how I respond.
So this is basically saying that I'm believing some thoughts which are coming up. You see how when we say planning, what are we saying? We're saying that I'm waiting for some thoughts to come. Okay, what should I do? Okay, tomorrow when you wake up, you don't do this. So this thought comes, or some other thought can come. Okay? And then when you give your belief to a few of these, then you say, I have a plan, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's why we've taken it at the root. And you said, don't believe your next thought. That's why this one, this simple pointing is very powerful. Because we don't even need to then look at planning, strategizing, all that is not possible. Because all that means is that a set of thoughts is coming and I give a belief to some of them and I believe this thought that now I have a plan.
I suppose it's because I get these thoughts so often, like like that, and then it's like it's um, it's like a sort of a back a bombardment, a constant bombardment, the same. It's the same stuff. It's the same
Yeah.
stuff to do with it, you know.
But because it's been nourished, you see, it's been nourished
Yes.
either by your belief or your resistance.
Yes. And then anger, and then every emotion that you can have attached to it. And then I'm ashamed of it, and I'm disappointed that even that I'm having to have this conversation instead of some more highbrow, deep Shiva type conversation. I'm talking about my body and eating, and it's like I can't believe I'm having to do this, but
Yeah.
I just feel that in I know it's not true that having this thought is keeping me in the body, but that it's there. The thought's keeping me in the body, and this is going to stop me realizing my true nature unless I cut this thought. And it's like, and then hence why I'm in this loop.
Let's realize your true nature right now, and then we'll see whether this all this matters to anyone. Yes? Because the mind will say, but first, how can you be realized? How can you find freedom when you can't even get over a eating disorder? The mind will say like this, you see. Don't believe this, it's completely rubbish. Who are you right now? Let's start from what you really understand at this moment. Don't worry about anyone else in the Sangha. Don't worry about Bhagwati sitting next to you. Just with full integrity and honesty, tell me who you see yourself to be right now in this moment.
I'm not sure really. I'm not sure who I am, in all honesty.
Okay, so that's very good. Very good. So let's start from here. We said that you are aware of your body, isn't it? You are aware of your body, and if you were to put your attention to your breath, you would be aware of your breath as well. Then, if you wait for some time, you will be aware of the next thought that comes. You are aware of your emotions also. Now, where is this awareness in relation to you? How far from this awareness are you?
It feels the same.
It feels like it is the same. What you and the awareness, does it feel like they are the same?
Yes.
Now stay here, and see if any thought, any emotion can touch you as awareness.
No, it can't. It can't.
Is there a way for you to create some distance between yourself and this awareness? Can you try to get a little away from it? Can you try to separate from this awareness?
No.
Just a little bit.
Only if I let my attention wander.
Yes, yes,
But
even if attention is going, let attention also wander. Let it wander. Leave it completely free, and then tell me if you manage to create some distance between yourself and awareness.
no, no, no distance.
So let attention go free, let all thoughts come and go, let all emotions come and go. You are this untouched awareness. The mind will come and say, but have you really seen this? Or are you just faking it? The mind will come and say like this. Then when it comes like this, just check again. What am I? Where am I in relation to this awareness? This one, stay as this one. Let all that needs to happen happen. Be completely unconcerned. The mind will come and say, but what happened to the eating disorder thing? I'll say that. Then you can say, whose is it? Whose disorder is it? It's not mine. See? And every time it convinces you that you have a disorder, you can ask, who is this you? Who is this me that has this disorder? And you will find that it does not exist. So in this way, we trick the trickster itself. The trickster tries to convince you of your separation, and you use whatever it is trying to say to deepen your own inquiry.
Yeah, I think that it was something you said in the satsang the other day, that if something like picking up the pen, and if you can't drop the pen,
Yes.
it's showing your attachments, and that is grace. And in many respects, this is, I see it as grace, and hence why I knew I needed to talk about it, to bring it up, rather than try and keep it hidden.
This is very good, very good. Very good you are able to come and expose it, isn't it?
Thank you so much for your time, Father.
Very welcome. Very welcome. So we can say that there is an appearance of these disorders. Everybody will have something or the other, you see. Every car will break down at some point or the other. Some cars have constant issues, some cars have once in a while big issues that happen. Every car is built differently. You see? But we do not say that I have this. Some who are deeply attached to their cars will also be very miserable because of it. Some whose life depends very strongly on what car they have can get deeply entrenched in the suffering of their cars. But to see that this vehicle, this body, seems to have this trouble or this trouble, as long as we are not saying, I have this trouble, it's all okay.
So, can I just ask that if it's the fact that um, that it's because how I want my appearance to be, yeah, that's how the eating disorder sort of came about, so it's my appearance, which which I know is to be absolutely, you know, but it's like, why, where is that coming? Why should I be so concerned about? Do you know what I mean? And it's that's brought that about, and it's like, you know, wanting to look a particular way, wanting to be perceived a particular way, and I know that all of that is absolute rubbish, and um, everything else has fallen away. Everything else in my everything, and it's just been this, of how I look, and how I perceive myself, and how other, it's like, if when I'm awake, I want to be slim and awake. You know what I mean? I don't, and
Yes.
it's like, I mean, that's crazy thought, but do you see what I mean? It's like, and it seems such so strong ego there, and that's what that's a concern that I have, that it's what's, you know um,
So very good.
oh,
There are a few things we can look at here. One is you said that how I perceive myself. How do I perceive myself? So how do you perceive yourself now? How do you perceive yourself?
oh, that's perceiving myself as the body,
Yes.
and yes.
See, but anytime you check, it is clear that I cannot be this bundle of flesh and blood and skin or whatever. Every time you really look, you cannot say that I am this. You see that I am the witnessing of this body also. So as long as you perceive yourself as a body, then this confusion can come. But once you start perceiving yourself as either the presence or the witness of the presence also, either is okay. You can perceive yourself as the presence of beingness which is here, or the eternal awareness which is aware even of this presence. Then is this a changing perception? Does this change in any way?
Yes, because when um, when I'm not believing my next thought, then I know that I'm not going with that. So I know that I'm not the body. But it's like when these things get in the back door, and yeah, it all seems so ridiculous. But sometimes you just need your master's hand to,
Yes.
which you're doing. Thank you, pulling me out of the shark infested water or whatever.
It's very good. So the first thing you can look at is how do I perceive myself? And if I perceive myself as a person, then can I find this person? If I perceive myself as a body, then how will I look 50 years from now? How did I look 100 years before this? How long can I keep up the way the body looks? And same thing for others. What will they perceive 50 years from now? So will you be concerned about these fleeting perceptions, or are you concerned about the eternal perception?
The eternal. No, I know this is a borrowed body. I know it's borrowed, you know, and I know that I, it could be gone tomorrow. I know this. I know this. This is the frustrating thing. I know this from Buddhism. I know it from Advaita. I know it's not my body, and yet it's like. But but I understand exactly what you're,
Yes. So
where I feel like
convert it.
being
Now you convert it from knowing it like a mental knowledge, convert it from a knowing it like a mental knowledge to just seeing it in the moment, you see. Because when it is mental knowledge, it can be frustrating. But when it is checked and seen for your own self again and again through the inquiry, then it goes from being mental knowledge to just a pure, innocent experiencing of your true self. Because mental knowledge will lead to guilt, it will lead to this kind of frustration that I know this, but then why do I do this? Don't need to know anything actually. You see, drop all knowledge. If you drop all knowledge, what you will have to do is check in every moment. Then you have to check fresh. Check fresh. Where am I? Who am I?
Is it Gianni was reading this morning, and I felt this very strongly when Papaji said about being I'll ad-lib this, but presenting one naked at Satsang, you know, and that's how I want to be is naked, you know. I really want to sit here totally naked in front of you.
Free from all concepts, free from all beliefs, concepts, knowledge, everything. Suppose you were born just now. What do you know? You don't know anything. Do you have plans? Does a newborn baby have plans? Is it concerned about the next moment? Completely fresh. And then, when something comes up for you, you can check. Don't refer it back to the mind. Don't refer it back to the mind, some knowledge, some book that you may have read. That's not required. Now you have the power to just see for yourself your own true nature, you see. Don't give the problem to the mind. It will only make it worse. Use these appearances of problems as fire, as wood in the fire for your own self-inquiry. In this way, I can go as far as to say, welcome all of this. Welcome. If disorder is coming, welcome it. Oh, what are you saying? What are you saying? Okay. Then it says, oh, you cannot eat. It's making you look fat. Okay. So who are you talking to then? Who are you talking to? You use it like this, welcome it and say, what do you want? If you run from it, then it keeps chasing you. I talked about this example, no? The dog chasing the bike. You keep trying to escape the dog keeps chasing you. Then you stop the bike, it doesn't know what to do. It doesn't know what to do. Hmm. So you face the disorder and say, okay, what is it that you want? And it says, but you're looking so fat. Huh? And you say, but what are you talking about? Huh? What are you talking about? Are you talking about this body which is going to come and go? It's going. How many more years does it have? I'm not concerned. Mhm. Don't run from it. Don't want to escape it. Just be present. Just be present to face it. Be present to face it. Confront it if you have to. Don't run. Mhm.
Okay. No running. Thank you so much, Father.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you. I love you so much.
I love you too. Beautiful lights you have behind you as well. Yeah.
That was our Christmas. Thank you, Father. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, my dear.